Welcome to the fall edition of the Community Development Journal. Hello, I'm Julie Jones, Planning Manager for the City of Fridley. And in this episode, we want to talk about some special people that worked for us here this summer at the city. We were blessed in the Community Development Department this summer to have not one like we usually have, but 3 interns this summer, and all doing different things for the department. We have Max Cowger, who worked in the planning division on recycling. Max, let's tell people a little bit about your background.
I will be starting my senior year in the fall at the University of Minnesota. I have an individualized degree in half sustainability studies and half marketing.
Okay, Max, what is it that you've been working on for the city this summer?
My main focuses for the summer were apartment recycling and parks recycling.
Then we also have Jaquel Nissen, who worked for our Housing and Redevelopment Authority, helping with business retention, which is something we did last summer as well. But Jaquel, let's tell people a little bit about your background.
I currently go to St. Thomas. I have 2 years left. I have a commercial real estate and business degree with a background in finance, and I've done some business retention programs for other cities in the past. So I've kind of taken experience with other businesses and brought it here, and I've got to know a lot of businesses this summer.
And then we have Katie Smith, who's been working in the planning division as well, working on code enforcement for us this summer. Katie, let's tell people a little bit about your background.
I'm a recent graduate from the University of Minnesota with degrees in urban studies and political science, and this summer I was a systematic code enforcement intern, inspecting entire neighborhoods for code violations.
And systematic code enforcement inspections is something we've done for a number of summers. This summer we've focused on residential inspections again, and so we're going to learn a little bit more about what Katie was doing with that this summer. And we're going to feature more details about what all 3 of these fine young people have been doing this summer for the city of Fridley. So stay tuned to learn more about what they've been doing in community development. With Jaquel Nissen, our summer intern that's been working for the Housing and Redevelopment Authority on business retention. Jaquel, let's tell people a little bit about what business retention means.
Sure. So business retention and expansion meetings are where we come out and call the businesses. We try to see a little bit more about what they're doing, get to know them better, get to know our managers, our owners, our presidents, everyone that's behind all these companies in our great city. There's so many different businesses that we know nothing about. And how are they ever going to get to know the city and know that we support them unless we go out there and visit with them? And a great opportunity too is for us to understand if they need expansions or they need to work with the city in other areas, whether it's fire, police, or building and code. We're all here working together, and we really want to make it a positive relationship. And it's been great. We've been with almost 50 businesses this summer, and we're continuously picking random businesses to finish going out to and make sure we can get to as many as we can.
And it's interesting that we have, kind of informally been doing this through our Development Review Committee meetings that we offer every week, but it's kind of nice now that the HRA has been able to put some focus on this. And I know, hearing stories from those people, I've only been able to go out on a couple of business retention visits, but I'm hearing stories about how much you're amazed at some of the interesting things that you'd never know are being manufactured here in Fridley and things like that.
Yes. I mean, there's anything from your pistons in an airplane, from your boring machines to any airplane in the U.S. Airways. I mean, and there's companies that are making screens. There's companies that are making your medical devices for skin grafting. You name it. There's a company here in Fridley that makes it, finishes it, sells it, you name it, and so much more, and that's what's great to know and talk about. And as a city, we want to be proud of these businesses, and we want to be connected more, and that's what we've been doing.
And we've got a lot of businesses that have been here for a long time too. So Jackal was able to go out and interview some of those people and able to show you a little bit more about them. So we'll show you that now in this program.
I'm here with Jan Stern, who's the owner of Perfection Grinding. So she's a machine company here local in Fridley, and she does a fantastic job. We're going to learn a little bit more about her company today and how she does in this industry. So I'm going to ask her a few questions, and she's going to get to know you all pretty soon. So how long has this company been around?
37 years.
And who started it?
My husband, Daryl.
Okay.
He came home for lunch one day, and he said, I started business, and that's what happened. 37 years. He started on one paycheck, and just the trust and faith that people had in him. And here we are still. And
So-
he just recently died, so he wanted me to carry on, and that's what I'm doing.
And what have you noticed since you took over? Is there a different atmosphere? Is it the same?
I think it has been a little different. The guys seem to be working together better. They get along really good. They help each other, and business is picking up a lot just in the last month. So
Good to hear. So tell everyone a little bit more about what you do.
we do metal grinding, Blanchard, which is rotary surface grinding, and regular surface grinding, which is the back and forth one, and between center grinding, and ID grinding, which is grinding the inside of a part.
Okay.
And we do from 120 inches long to 20 inches in diameter on the ODs. And we grind the bores, we can grind 50 inches long. On the surface, or the Blanchard grinding, we can do 84 inch in diameter. So we do have a wide variety. Metal, rubber, urethane, quite a few different metals.
Okay. And where do these types of parts end up?
A lot of them we don't know. It's our customers' thing, they bring us and we don't typically know.
Okay.
A lot of it is for the machine shops that they use for like their thing that they're building,
So a lot of these local businesses around you, you're going to after your product is finished, it goes to them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that what brought you to Fridley in the first place, or what started this location?
Well, my husband worked in a grinding shop in Fridley years ago, and we just kind of graduated to Fridley we were in Coon Rapids living, so we just moved to Fridley, and we've been here ever since.
Wow, good to hear.
So it's
You
just,
still love Fridley? It seems like it's well working for you. And
yeah.
Good. So what do you see in the near future for this company?
The near future, hopefully just keep on going and making money.
And what sets you aside from every other company like yourself?
Well, I guess it's just our honesty, our good work, and our service.
Good. Well, glad to meet you, Dan. Everyone should be proud of a company like this. They're doing hard work, and they've been here for almost 40 years. That's a very long time, longer than I've lived. So we're proud to have you here, and thank you for your time. That was it, and thanks for watching. All right, I'm here with one of Jan Stern, Perfection Grinding's employees who's been here the longest. He's going to introduce himself, kind of tell his position and where he's from and what he does here and what's so great about his job.
Well, I'm Bob Neinsinger. I've worked for the company for 36 years. From North Minneapolis, and spent a lot of time here in Fridley working. And
Okay,
it's a good place to work. We got
good
lots
people.
of good customers, good people.
So what do you do here? You work on this big machine back here, but tell people that don't know really
A
what
lot of
this...
different surfaces. I'll run small machines too,
Okay.
but big, small.
And are you finishing that metal so it's flat, or
Yep,
what are you
they're
doing?
Flat and parallel, so
Okay.
they're the same thickness, and yeah.
And that's what
machining
you
it
like
out.
about your work
Sometimes you
is
got a 1/4 inch of meat on there. Sometimes they're just barely clean up, but it's good exercise if anything.
all right, well, we saw you getting right into that machine working hard, so
Oh yeah, well it's an animal. You
gotta get
gotta
in there
load
and
'em
work.
Up. 6-foot bars don't get done themselves. So
Well, keep up the good work.
thank
We're
you.
impressed, and this is a great company. Today we're meeting with Shaft Floral, one of our longest companies that's been here in the city. And today we're meeting with the owners, Marcia Schaff and Bud Doffin. So Marcia, tell us how you started, how long ago you started, and what made you get into the floral industry.
We started in 1970, I did, in Moon Plaza, and we had 1,000 square feet, and my capital was $1,500. I had to make it every month, otherwise we wouldn't have made it. We were down in Moon Plaza for 5 years, and then I made the decision to come up to Holly Center. It was an active shopping center, and I needed more space. And back then, the shopping center had grocery stores and drug stores in it. And then from that location, we moved to a larger location in the same shopping center, Holly, which is where we are now. We've taken walls down and enlarged.
So tell us a little bit how your customer base has changed since you moved to Holly Shopping Center, and over the last decade or two, how your customers have changed, what you've had to do to change and adapt to that.
We used to have 50% walk-in and 50% phone. Now we have about 17% walk-in, and the rest is internet-based and phone-based. Internet is where our major growth is.
So tell me a little bit about how you're buying and purchasing of these flowers, how it happens versus how you used to buy the flowers. Was it local before and now you have to go elsewhere to find these great flowers, or how has that changed?
Our buying has changed dramatically. When I first started out, the choice the customer had was gladiolas, roses, pom-poms, and carnations. Now it's become an international market. Right now in our cooler we have things from New Zealand, Thailand, Minnesota, California, South America. It's just a complete international market.
There's a plane flying from South America full of boxes of flowers. While that plane is in the air, coming from Ecuador, all these florists are bidding on these boxes. It lands in Miami, and as they take it off of the plane, they stamp on whatever boxes Marcia bought, Shaft Floral. They put it in a refrigerated truck. 2 drivers jump in that truck Thursday night. They drive day and night, and they land in Minneapolis with cold flowers on Sunday morning. If we want to go out and get them, we can. Otherwise, the wholesaler brings them to us on Monday morning. So it's pretty incredible from what it used to be.
So Bud, tell us a little bit about how Shaft Floral sets inside apart from all these other florists in town, and how you decide to do what you do on the internet. What gets your internet base growing, and how did you get out there in that market?
About 10 years ago, we figured out that if you didn't embrace the internet, you weren't going to survive. Now, you're looking at a guy that started out in high school with a manual typewriter. So now I'm carrying a cell phone with an Android in it. It's a heck of a difference.
Yep.
So you've got to keep educating yourself or finding people to do this. We've got a real good webmaster that helps us with all of this stuff and keeps us current. Our internet business grows almost daily. But the other thing that sets us apart is our customer service. If somebody calls in, we will get flowers to them if it's at all possible. Our emergency number is my cell phone number. So when somebody calls Shaft Floral at night, it says, press 1 if this is a floral or funeral emergency. If they press 1, my cell phone rings at home, I grab my laptop, and I take the order.
So how does Shaft Floral connect with the community and give back to our community here?
We have what we call the Lend a Hand program. When somebody places an order online, at the end, they can check a box for their favorite charity, or they can write in their favorite charity, and we'll put it in as a permanent, and Shaft Floral will give $2 to that charity.
So looking around your store, I noticed there's a lot of products in here that are not flowers. There's a lot of gifts, there's a lot of different items that you can buy while you're buying flowers. Tell us a little more about that.
I've always wanted to have the store beautiful, so when people come in, it enhances their buying. We have beautiful flowers, but we also have wonderful candy bouquets. We have wonderful baby mats. We have oils and vinegars and jewelry. We have a good section of giftware. We try to have different things, like now we're getting set up for autumn. The store looks great at Christmas. We enhance it so that it's really like a fairyland at Christmas time.
So I was over at the TPC golf tournament a few weeks ago, and I noticed they had an immense amount of florist arrangements and beautiful flowers. And then I heard Shaft Floral did those. So I had no idea you did big corporate events too. Tell us a little more about that side of your business.
We do corporate business. We do a lot of corporate parties, and this is second year for the 3M up at TPT. We did that last year. One of the large corporations there had seen our work. They had somebody else do it, and they had us do it this year.
One of the other corporate events was the Harmon Killebrew Memorial. We had 4-foot number 3s made out of red and white carnations on 8-foot easels made by a local P.D. Borman. He put the prototype together for the easels because it was a short notice.
So how do people contact you if they want to come in here and buy their flowers tomorrow? What do they do?
If you want to find us, you can go to Google Shaft Floral, or www.shaftfloral.com. Our telephone number is 763-571-4600, or we're in the Holly Shopping Center.
Thank you, Marcia and Bud. This has been a blast, and we're really proud to have you in the city, and I hope your business continues to thrive here.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Hi, I'm Julie Bieberg with Community Development Journal's Codes to Know. City Code does not permit the storage of bagged yard waste out in your yard over the winter, and most compost options close for the season by mid-November. Getting rid of bagged leaves after mid-November is very costly, and City Code does not permit homeowners to store bagged yard waste for more than 1 week, using bagged leaves to bed planting or to insulate foundations. Loose leaves may be used for insulation of planting areas. If you'd like more information regarding city codes, please contact me at 763-572-3592.
Today we're meeting with Dan Scher, the store manager at Victory Auto Service and Glass here in Fridley, right off of Osborne Road. They've been here quite a while, and today I'm going to ask them a few questions so you can get to know their business a little bit better. So first off, I'm wondering a little bit about why you chose Fridley in the first place and how long you've been here.
We started in 1997 in a small shop in Spring Lake Park. Quickly outgrew that, and we've expanded now into 5 shops and also 1 shop in St. Petersburg, Florida. We chose Fridley mainly because of the access from Highway 65 and be able to be in a community and be able to help people more in a housing community where we can assist people with all of their car care needs.
So I understand there's a lot of different auto care companies around in the area. What sets yourself aside? I've seen a lot of awards, I've seen different establishments, but I've never seen so many awards on a business store like I've seen on yours. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, what we've done is we've established a business that is employee and customer oriented to where we can help the customers with all of their needs. We want to make sure that the customers feel that we care about what they have done. We've won a lot of awards through this, like she said. Care 11 award, the 11 Who Care. We've also won the Minnesota Business Ethics Award just last year in 2015. A lot of those awards that we've won have been through a lot of hard work, helping customers, a lot of community work, working with people in Fridley and the surrounding areas. And we've also gotten awards through AAA. We have been named one of AAA's top shops, which is done through AAA, through Minnesota and Iowa, and we have to be approved through the customers of AAA that approve us for the repairs that we do. They have to nominate us with 100% satisfaction. We've also got the Better Business Bureau Torchlight Award that we won, that again we have to be nominated for that from a customer and then voted on through their board, which was again a very great award that we got that really stands out for what the company does every day.
Tell us how you received that Business Ethics Award. That's a really big award to win as a company. What did you have to do to receive an award like that?
The Business Ethics Award was a very proud thing that we got all through a number of large businesses, medium-sized businesses, and small businesses were all nominated. You have to go through a long board that they go through and check everything over, what we're doing, making sure that we're doing the things right, making sure that we're helping people, and making sure that we're taking care of customers. When we had to go through a board that accepted us for that, we also ended up going down and getting invited downtown to the award ceremony for it, where the 3 finalists were named. Very, very cool thing, very large room of many business owners, and we ended up winning that day, which was great, and got to be a great part of our following for our business to be able to have that for all the employees and all of the customers that we've been able to serve.
So I see you give back to the community a lot. Tell us a little bit more about that.
We belong to Toys for Tots. We're a receiving site for them for the city of Fridley. And we also go through and support financially Mothers Against Drunk Driving and the Alexander House, which is for people in the community that suffer abuse. The other big one that we do is through Cars for Neighbors, which is a donation site here that we receive cars for people in the community of need. Our owner actually was a board member on that for 12 years, and we opened up our shop and would do a lot of work for them. So that's been a very rewarding thing for us and all the employees.
So let everyone know about how they can contact a business like yours if they want to get their car in here today.
Well, you can contact us at our phone number, which is 763-786-6920. Also through our website, which is victoryautoservice.com, and you can schedule appointments on there. You can also check any of our reviews or anything through Google+. We encourage people to read through those. We also have a great Facebook page, which you can get a hold of us and make appointments through that. We also have our social media director who does all of our Facebook's pictures and stuff going on in the shop. She is a missionary and does that from Peru, so it really makes a great thing for her to be able to do that for us. So we really enjoy having her part of our team.
Thank you, Dan, for your time today. I really appreciate it, and good luck here in Fridley, and continue doing a great business here.
Yes, thank you very much. It's been great. Thank you.
Today we're meeting with Dr. Krappa over at the Fridley Eye Care Center. They've been here for a very long time, and today we're going to learn a little bit more about their business and what makes them so special here in Fridley. So first, Dr. Krappa, tell us a little bit about how you started this business and why you chose Fridley.
Sure. So I actually started the Eye Care Center in 1977 with our first location in downtown North St. Paul. We opened a second location 3 years later in New Brighton. And in 1993, we purchased a small optical from Carol Miller in Fridley and moved our clinic to Fridley and joined those two businesses together. And that was probably the best business move we've ever made. The practice has flourished and grown ever since. Just 2 years ago, we added a third location in Maple Grove, and we pretty well have the northern tier of the suburbs covered at this point.
So I see a lot of different eye clinics around the area, and I'm wondering what you do to set yourself aside. What sets you apart from all the rest of those clinics?
At the Eye Care Center, we have a vision of preserving and enhancing vision throughout life. And every member of our team here embraces that vision. This involves taking sufficient amount of time to educate our patients on what they can do to take care of their eyes so that they can see throughout their entire lifetime. In addition, we offer the cutting-edge technology in eyeglass lenses, contact lenses, and surgical alternatives to give the sharpest, clearest vision possible to patients.
So what's different today from when you started back in 1993?
I would say technology is the biggest change that we've seen over the years. Back when we first started, much of what we did was manual and paper-oriented. Today, virtually everything is digital and electronic. All of our patient records are electronic patient records. We can access a patient record from any one of our 3 clinics. In addition, we can access the records from remote locations. So we have a doctor on call 24 hours a day, 365 days of the year. If they get approached by a patient on a Sunday morning and they're missing a critical medication, they can log in from home, get that patient's medication information and forward it to a 24-hour pharmacy without actually even entering the office. In addition, we've seen a huge improvement in high-tech diagnostic equipment, which allows us to identify eye disease and intervene at a much earlier stage of development and gives us a much better ability to care for the patients.
What is interesting about your business's history here?
So what's really kind of fun about the history of our practice, I started with just myself and one part-time assistant in one location, and we've grown to having 7 doctors, 3 locations, and a staff of over 40 support staff.
So you're not the only doctor here at this eye care center in Fridley. There's other doctors here. Tell me a little bit about how each different doctor has a different variety of how they practice.
So all of our doctors provide primary eye care services and a wide range of services. But each of us has also developed some specialty niches. Myself, for example, I see a lot of the elderly population with age-related eye disease. Other doctors in the practice see the other end of the spectrum, examining infants as young as 6 months. And still others have developed specialties in things like high-tech contact lenses, for example.
So what about Fridley is good for your business?
One element is that Fridley is a very close-knit community with good networking communication. If a patient comes in here and has a good experience, many of the community hear about it in very short order, so that helps us dramatically. We also find that businesses in the community like Medtronics provide a great financial base for the patients that we serve. And I think the great school systems in Fridley are also beneficial. They are creating our future. And we find it very beneficial to have been able to see as many as 3 generations of some families in the community.
So are you basically almost like a one-stop shop for people's eye care needs of any age, since you have so many different doctors with different specialties?
Yes, we do feel that that is very true. We see patients from cradle to grave, so as young as 6 months and as old as they can come through the door. And we feel that we have the services, products, and expertise to deal with all of that range of people.
So tell everyone how they can contact you today if they'd like to come visit your clinic.
You can go to our website at www.eyecarecenters.net, or you can call us at 763-574-0075, or better yet, come and visit us at 1202 East Moore Lake Drive in Fridley.
Thank you, Dr. Krappa, for visiting us today, and we're really excited to have you in Fridley and look forward to a long future here with you.
Well, thank you very much. We very much enjoy being part of the community.
Well, this summer we did systematic code enforcement again, and that's where we systematically go through and inspect each property in the city, and we did this with residential property, and we hired Katie Smet, who is a graduate already with her bachelor's degree, to come in and work for us for the summer in doing these inspections. So Katie, let's tell people, because we always are hoping every summer that we're going to have fewer cases than we had the year before. So let's give people some idea of what are some of the common things that you found when you were out inspecting residential properties.
Mm-hmm. The top violations I came across this summer were brush, outside storage, placement of garbage containers and recycling containers, as well as vehicle violations such as expired tabs on license plates and vehicles parking off pavement.
Yeah, I know, Katie, that so many of the letters that you send out could be avoided by people just doing some very simple cleanup on their property. Like, for example, what would you suggest to people to take a look at the beginning of the summer to avoid getting a letter from you?
Mm-hmm. So the top 5 tips to avoid these common code violations are to to place rollout carts at the curb on garbage pickup day and off the street, to store rollout carts behind the front yard setback, and to not store yard tools and equipment in the yard, keep them in the garage or in the shed and out of public right-of-way, and to also make sure that vehicles are licensed and have updated tabs on them, and if not, put them in the garage until you can update the license plate or dispose of the vehicles. And lastly, make sure you can remove brush out of the public right-of-way, and recommendations are to contact your garbage services for a yard pickup, for yard waste pickup, or just bring the brush to Bunker Hills and dispose of the brush there.
And of course, we have information at the city to help people find those disposal options for some of those difficult to get rid of items. So feel free to call us in the planning department. Kate Qualley, our environmental planner, has a lot of information countywide as to where you get rid of a lot of those things. So Katie, I know you've been working on more than just code enforcement. We've had you working on some changes to zoning code language too, and you still are working on finishing up the city. So we're keeping her on for a little longer so that she can finish doing the whole city. So if you haven't gotten a letter yet, that doesn't mean you're safe. We still have some neighborhoods to inspect yet. So please keep these tips in mind, and if you ever have questions, consult us in the planning department.
Hi, I'm Julie Bieberg with the Community Development Journal's Codes to Know. The most common code violation found at residents is exterior storage of materials in yards, like lawnmowers, wheelbarrows, ladders, etc. That needs to be stored inside a building when not in use. You may have neatly stacked firewood in your side or rear yard, but other things should be stored inside a building. Also, if you are bringing home an RV to store over the winter, make sure you have adequate space to do so. City code allows motorized RVs to be stored on your driveway as long as you have enough room to park them at least 15 feet back from the curb. This setback requirement applies to both motorized and non-motorized RVs for vision safety reasons. If you'd like more information regarding city codes, please contact me at 763-572-3592.
One of our interns this summer in the planning department was Max Cowger, who worked in recycling. So I wanted to talk with Max a little bit more about what you did this summer for the city. Max, now you worked mostly on apartment recycling because we've got some problems with apartment recycling, right?
Yes, Anoka County has set a requirement of 175 pounds per person per year, and we are well below that goal right now, but we are working to improve that. And so a lot of my work has been working with apartment managers and owners and residents, trying to improve their recycling habits.
What are some of the issues as to why we're struggling in apartment buildings and not meeting the same recycling level there that we're seeing with our curbside recycling program?
Well, when you're recycling in an apartment, it's a lot more inconvenient compared to a single family home. Your recycling isn't right there in your garage, easy for you to reach. You might have to walk down 5 sets of stairs and bring separate bags and dump in the recycling and one in the garbage.
Well, that's a very good point, Max. It isn't as convenient when you live in an apartment building to recycle as it may be when you're in a home. So I understand you've been doing some things, though, to kind of help people make it a little bit easier.
Julie, residents can expect to see these images on recycling carts and dumpsters to show what is good for recycling. In addition to the recycling magnets / stickers, garbage magnets will be on garbage dumpsters around the city. Look for our building recycling signs at your apartment residence that will explain what is good for recycling, and other Anoka County materials like the recycling guide and recycling magnet to put on your refrigerator. Anoka County was kind enough to give us these blue recycling totes, which will be in some apartment complexes. They can be used under the sink, and they can separate your recyclables from the garbage right there in your apartment unit.
Well, the thing that I think is great about these totes is that I know one of the problems we've been seeing for a long time at apartment recycling is people putting their recyclables in the recycling bin in plastic bags, which are a problem because then they have to be sorted out and ripped open at the sorting facility to make sure that it's recyclables in there and then be able to sort those recyclables out. So this is kind of nice way to avoid that problem. So, and when we talk about kind of sorting recyclables out, what are some of the problems you've seen? Because I know you've been doing site visits and doing a little dumpster diving and looking at what's in the dumpster, what's in the recycling bins. What are some of the common mistakes you're seeing that people are doing in apartments?
A common thing that residents are sometimes getting a mixed message about is organics recycling. That is something that's in surrounding cities, but it's not right in Fridley yet. So anything organic, including foods, yard waste, any sort of raw garbage is not acceptable in recycling bins.
So I know there's things that end up in the recycling bin that shouldn't be, but there's also things ending up in the trash that shouldn't be, and I think one of those biggies is cardboard, right?
That's right, Julie. More often than not, I'm finding cardboard in the trash dumpster rather than in the recycling carts or recycling dumpsters. And I just want to let everyone know that cardboard's 100% recyclable, and we'd appreciate it if it goes in the recycling. Another thing to keep in mind is that cardboard pizza boxes and anything else soiled by food is not acceptable in the recycling. Those type of things go in the garbage. And then another common thing that I'm finding in the garbage dumpsters is newspaper and mail. These things are also 100% recyclable and can be placed in the recycling carts or dumpsters.
And the beauty, I think, with the new system now is it's not like the old days where you had to sort all that stuff apart. Now it can all be mixed together, loose in the bin, doesn't even need to be in bags, so it's making it a lot easier for folks to recycle. Now another thing we've been doing, I know that you've been looking at, Max, a little bit, is our park recycling program too. So what have you been doing as far as looking at park recycling?
Parks recycling was another big part of my job this summer, and what I was looking for was what parks are providing recycling currently and which ones aren't, and how we can get a recycling cart in every park here in Fridley.
Well, that's great, Max. I'm glad that you were able to help with park recycling too, because park recycling and apart recycling are two things that we've really wanted to do some extra effort on to boost our recycling in those areas, and then we just have had difficult time finding staff time to do that. But finally this year we were able to get some extra funding from Anoka County to focus on that. So I'm glad we found you. You were able to work on that. Just sorry that this has to end so soon. It's like we no longer get started on these internships and they end. So good luck to you as you go back to school.
Thank you, Julie.
Have a great fall.
Hi, I'm Julie Bieberg with the Community Development Journal's Codes to Know. Please be aware that all motor vehicles in Fridley must be parked on a paved surface. You can store a boat or a trailer on your lawn as long as it is in the side or rear yard of the property, but anything motorized must be parked on pavement. Rock or gravel areas are not an approved hard surface in Fridley for parking vehicles. So make sure you have enough paved areas for the vehicles stored outside. If you'd like more information regarding city codes, please contact me at 763-572-3592.
Well, over the summer a lot of construction has been going on as well. So here's an update on some of the projects that you've probably seen as you've driven around Fridley. The Columbia Arena building, owned by the City Housing and Redevelopment Authority, is now under demolition, and the demolition is expected to take several weeks. And the city is still researching what will be the future of the Columbia Arena site. And demolition work is continuing at the BAE Systems site down at 4800 East River Road, where they are continuing to work on demolition of parts of the old building and working on improving the exterior of the building, parts that they are keeping as part of the BAE Systems complex. And down at the very southern border of the city at 37th and East River Road, a new funeral home is being constructed. And on the corner of 53rd and Central, we have a new multi-tenant building going up on the corner that is going to be the future site of a Starbucks coffee shop and an AT&T phone store and one other tenant that's yet to be named. On the Fridley Market site down on 57th Avenue, a plat's already been approved for a new multi-tenant building to be built between the new McDonald's and the Holiday gas station. And now another plat is underway to create a new hotel site on the south side of the property next to the freeway. Construction continues on the Cielo apartment project, which is due to be complete in February of 2016. Well, stay tuned to future programs to learn more about these projects and other ones that may be coming about. Thanks for watching and taking an interest in community development in Fridley.
This has been a production of Fridley Municipal Television, Channel 17.